Hey, it's your guy, Sojourner Kai, and today we're going to be attempting to climb Legends of Runeterra with JAYCE LUX. Now, as you guys may have noticed since the last time that I recorded a video, I am now in Diamond. I climbed up through Platinum, mostly using this specific deck. Now, JAYCE LUX is an archetype that we've seen around a little bit this last patch, and the cool thing about this list, sorry, I'm making sure I was actually started recording and hit the right button there. Anyway, the cool thing about this list is that it's not exactly like the other lists that you see with JAYCE LUX in it. For example, some of the things that is different about it is that there's no concerted strike. It runs Mage Seeker Inciter and one copy of Albus Ferris, which at a glance might seem like a mistake. You might think, well, Concerted Strike is really good for removing units, and it is. It's really good in helping you in like Viego matchups. Viego is probably one of your worst matchups that you can get into, along with a lot of those kind of late game control the archetypes. At least those are the ones that I've had the most struggles against, but I've been doing great against scouts and aggro with this list, and when I go through these cards, you'll understand why. So first off, we have Thermogenic Beam, which is just overall a decent card for removing a lot of units. If you're playing on tempo against something like scouts, which shouldn't happen, but sometimes it might be necessary depending on how crazy of a curve your opponent has, and your opponent drops Misfortune on 3, you can just Thermogenic Beam it. Even if you have the 6 mana, because you've been saving up from turns 1 and 2, the 6 mana Thermo Beam still benefits the rest of your deck because it works a point towards Jace's level up, and it also buffs up your, where are they? The Mage Seeker Persuader and the Mage Seeker Inciter, which is, once you've cast a 6+ mana spell, is a 4 mana 6/6. Adjust my camera as I'm a professional. I moved into my new location, as you can probably tell. The background and everything's different, but the jackets remain the same. Other cards in this deck include Forge Chief. Forge Chief, just a really decent 1-drop for this deck that gains value for you. You get a strike for 2 damage and also get your mana back so that you can still cast your 6 mana spells on turn 3. Pharaoh's Financier kind of helps you keep up card advantage, but you're not looking for this card too early. I'd say this is like more of a turn 4 or 5, and I've considered maybe cutting a copy of it. Mage Seeker Persuader gives you Challenger and a 4/3 after you've cast a 6+ mana spell this game, and even then it's a 2 mana 3/2, which in a pinch can block things like the Twisted Catalyzer and that sort of thing. Mystic Shot also really effective at dealing with that. Sharp Sight just is a really good combat trick. And single combat, because we have Mage Seeker Inciter, which is a 6/6 that can usually trade off with a lot of things pretty effectively with the single combat, I would say. Forge of Tomorrow is kind of necessary in this deck. It refills your spell mana when you cast a 6-cost spell. And Vanguard Sergeant, a bit of a surprise here because it's a 3 mana card, 3/4, which is really good stats, that creates a 6 mana card in hand. In any other deck, you wouldn't keep this, but I actually like keeping this card in my opening mulligans because of how effective it is at kind of furthering the win con of this deck, which is just go wide and beat down with Lux or JAYCE or any of those in between. Of course, your win cons then being JAYCE getting on board and getting his acceleration gate off, or Lux getting on board and just blitzing your opponent down with the lasers and all. One copy of Radiant Guardian is an anti-aggro tech, and also to keep your life health up in that kind of late game, though unfortunately with us only running 2 single combats, I'm not sure how effective it is. There are some cards, of course, we could rearrange. 3 assembly lines, pretty essential for this deck. Creates 2 3/3s for a 6. Back-to-back is a funny way to instantly level Lux or give 12 damage to Nexus in one turn. You go for an attack swing, they don't block 2 things, and you're attacking with JAYCE, you use back-to-back, you get 12 extra damage to Nexus, and usually can OTK with this card kind of out of nowhere, and that's kind of the benefit of it. Shock Blast, just pretty standard, really good at removing units as well, so this is pretty effective against aggro. And finally, one copy of Albus Ferris. In case we can't find JAYCE, we just have one copy of this. It's a 6/5 with quick attack, which is pretty decent, but it also has the effect of dealing 1 to the enemy Nexus for each 6-cost spell, or plus each 6-cost spell you cast this game. So it deals minimum of 1, and then each one that you have after that adds on to it. Now, I know that we're having the patch notes come in, and the new patch for all of the new cards that were released for Magical Journey. going to be hitting the cards. So I'm not expecting to have this be some person's guide to getting to Masters or anything. And for myself, I tried getting to Masters this season. I got up to Diamond 2 and then plummeted all the way down to Diamond 4. So probably not going to be doing it this season, but I'm looking to do it next season. And I'm just making this video as a kind of homage to the deck that I had used to climb most of the way through Plat to get to where I am now. And hopefully it'll get us some results today, and we'll see how it does in the new season as well. Okay, match number 1. This is a weird one. This is like Irelia MF with blades, but then they're splashing Twisted Fate. I mean, Twisted Fate's just overall a decent unit. Decent card for this deck. But I don't know how I feel about it. I'm going to toss Financier and keep everything else here. Force Chief really good for striking on 1. And this deck, aside from Make It Rain, I don't think. Maybe Parlay? But this doesn't seem like the kind of deck that wants to run Parlay. Doesn't seem like a Plunder deck. I could be proven wrong. At any rate, I get 2 damage here in my mana back, because they're not going to block with Crack Shot first. Are you kidding me? These decks never do. This is going to be probably the Ribbon Dancer this turn. If I'm reading this correctly. Oh. I mean, I guess I'm going negative here a little bit, but I don't know. They're burning the attack token, and I have another Force Chief. So I'm still keeping up my mana pretty well. Oh, that's what this is. So this is a Jagged Taskmaster deck, meaning that those blades are going to be 2/1s when they come out. That's scary. That's actually slightly terrifying. At any rate, I'm going to drop Assembly Line now. And just get my board all nice and wide. Make It Rain kind of sucks because I want to get this mana back for next turn. Oh boy, that is a 3/1 with Fearsome. If I attack with just this, I get 2 damage. If I attack with all 3, I get 3 damage and trade 2 units. Am I reading that correctly? I think a full swing is actually correct here. Because they can block, and I lose all my units. Or I attack, they block. I still have Fearsome blockers for next turn. I think this is better, just considering the deck that I'm playing against. Because I don't think I'm the beatdown here. Because if I attack with all 3, and then they go wide, because look, Crack Shot Corsair as well, but they go wide and they put down a bunch of blades and stuff, I have no way of defending myself, because I don't have enough mana for Shock Blast. Really wish I did, though. Forge tomorrow, though, being pretty pogged up. I would attack with this. You still trade off, right? I can still block, take 2 damage. It's fine. More than fine with this. Especially because we have Shock Blast killing off Misfortune next turn. It's possible that they have Twin Disciplines to save this round, but I'm really more concerned with getting the damage off than I am. Oh, you know what I should do, actually? I should point at both of these units. Don't even give them an answer. A Deny is pretty bad for us, too. Ionia Shells are usually pretty bad for this deck, but it doesn't matter. We get the hit off, we get the mana refill because of the Forge of Tomorrow, and we level JAYCE all in one swoop. I think that's pretty good. Field Musicians never blocks here either, because I just swing now. Yeah, I just get 3 damage, because why would they block? I'm playing Piltover and Zon. I have a lot of removal in this deck. Now, this is the scary turn. This is definitely the scary turn. In this case, though, I think I pass, because I'm not too far behind on mana, and I have card advantage. So I have no reason to try and do anything funny here. Okay. So now that they're attacking with this, I take this hit, and then I hit these 2. Right? Is that correct? Or do I play LUX? What am I worried about? Am I worried about Misfortune? I think I play LUX. Just to make a nice blocker here with Barrier. And yeah, they only get in with the Prowling Cutthroat, which is great for me. And thankfully they're not running anything like Sejuani or Gangplank that runs off of Plunder. Which means that I'm not going to be too worried about them hitting board and having their very powerful level up effects. Because the only thing that we really have seen so far is Misfortune. And we killed Misfortune. I have no idea how many copies they're running with this kind of split. They could be running 3 Aurelia, 2 Twist of Fate, and 1 Misfortune, or 2 of each. And what we've seen so far is basically 0 development. Now, they don't have an attack token anymore. They have more mana to develop on than we do, and I'm not really doing too much here, aside from dropping... Oh my gosh, Kai. Dropping JAYCE and hitting that acceleration gate, I think might be the play. Challenger, because it threatens development. Makes their blocks a lot more awkward now. So there's JAYCE. Not a lot of hard removal in these decks. There's going to be a recall, but that's totally fine by me. Because, yeah, I get hit for nothing now. It's possible that they run Twin Disciplines. That's the only card I'm really concerned about. But, oh, reconnecting. All right, get me back in there. Don't crash me now. Shock Blast, though, onto the Elusive and the 2-1, and then I can kill the second one here with my LUX beam, and then hit for 6, probably. It's possible they have deny, though. Yeah. That's fine. It's better for them to deny that than for them to deny my acceleration gate that's coming down later. If I swing with this, they block with the 1-4, and I don't think I want to put any damage on my units right now, because again, we're playing against the beatdown. We are not the beatdown in this deck. We do, however, draw the single combat. This is fine. Like, this is really quite okay. I'm going to do Mage Seeker Insider first. Just so I can get a big unit on board now. It's going to be blue card. I think that's okay, right? There's nothing here that really threatens me. It's not yet. Besides, I have a huge body to block with now. I pass. I have to keep this spell mana up. Hello, Mirai Warden. Okay. Pass. Yeah, still need to keep this spell mana up. Still need to get everything down and dusted. I have JAYCE. I play him with Challenger. Try this again. It's unlikely it happens because he's just going to get recalled again. I'm going to single combat here and kill this off first. Just to make sure that I actually get some value trading here. Because when they recall it, it's going to heal him to full, right? Oh, this hits. I block with the 6/6. And then I play JAYCE again with Challenger. They've played 1 Deny, 2 Defiance. I'm going to kill that. This is dead. I'll attack with this too. Is this right going aggro here? Just clearing out their board. I think losing a blocker is a bad idea. Okay, cool. Yeah, losing a blocker to this aggro is pretty bad for me. Twisted Fate's 3 out of 9. They're down to 1 card. They're down to 0 cards. Okay, so now I can shoot Twisted Fate. Goodbye. So that's pretty good. Get Twisted Fate out of here. GG is coming out, so it's possible my opponent might just concede here. I also have Sharp Sight now to block this if I want to. They did draw 3 cards, though, so that is mildly concerning. Man, they drew the 3rd Defiant Dance. It's also fleeting, so they drew it off of that Twisted Fate card, but whatever. Just block, I think. Then I can replay LUX, funny enough, with Barrier now. Now I have LUX with Barrier. I can go with Sharp Sight, because I'm not going to be taking any chances. Can't block an elusive unit. Well, your system should be faster. If you say so, dude. It's up to you to whatever you have to say. Okay, so they didn't get plundered this turn, so they don't get to buff any of this, which is nice. And I could immediately do a lot of damage to face here. I think this is correct. Yeah. Because then I get the acceleration gate all the same and remove units. If you're punching in the GG, might as well surrender, right? Anyway. That was really annoying. That I guess like that was the worst thing I can say about that deck, or facing that deck. It was like, wow, that was really annoying that they had 3 Defiant Dances and recalled my champions 3 times in a row. But that was an effective showing nonetheless of what this deck can do. And I'll take us to the next match. Alright, match number 2. We're playing against Caitlyn Ezreal Tribeam. Mid-range against mid-range. You know, this is a matchup I'm not entirely certain about. So like we said earlier, we keep the Forge Chief, really good one-drop. Vanguard Sergeant's also a great keep in this deck. Pharaohs you usually don't want to see too early though, and I'm considering cutting this. Like I said in the intro of the video, I'm considering cutting this copies down. The number of copies of these. You know, my English has failed me today. I really want them to thermo beam this because that's huge value for me. Cool. I get my mana back. Now the question is, I have a lot of really good mana 3 plays. So am I just free to Force Chief again? Not really. I mean, yes, but also not really. Okay, so good start. I might... Nah, I think Assembly Line's the line here. I was thinking of doing Vanguard Sergeants just to threaten something here, or do Forge It Tomorrow. But usually Forge It Tomorrow, you play on a defensive turn. But since we have attack token on 3, it's a lot better. So anyway, we play Forge It Tomorrow. You play Forge It Tomorrow on defensive turn, and then on your attack turn, you play Assembly Line or whatever, and that becomes... Is this the right? And that becomes like a more effective play, because then you get to refill the mana. I don't think this is the right play. I don't think attacking here is correct. Unless they Mystic Shot it. It's possible that there's a Mystic Shot coming down on this. Which, you know, would level up their Ezreal slightly, so it wouldn't be a bad play at all. But if I just attack here, I'm trading, what? Trading a unit for nothing here. When I already have Shock Blast, which is effective enough to kill this, and there's no health buffs in these regions. At least not to my knowledge. At least none of the meta cards that these regions run are health buffs. I should specify that. Since we have no 6 mana cost cards in hand, I'm gonna play a Pharaoh's Financier. Shock Blast, definitely the best of those options there. Hey, Caitlyn. I might play another Forge Chief here, just to keep my board wide. Yeah, Caitlyn strikes. I don't think I care. Do I care about taking 3 damage? No. And I want my spell mana back next turn anyway, so maybe one of these dies, but it's unlikely that both of them do. Only 2 flash bombs, so I'm not holding my breath. We have really good targets for Shock Blast next turn though. We can hit Caitlyn and the Ballistic Bot at the same time. Still a Mystic Shot kind of sucks. Why would you... This unit is doing not... You know, it's fine. I need to not react like that. That's a very negative reaction to have. I don't understand why my opponent would use a thermogenic beam on a unit like that But at any rate, I'm just going to rip this Shock Blast. I'm not going to be asking any questions right now. I will be taking no questions, no inquiries. And I will be taking all of your units here. Now, of course, they can replay Caitlyn, which would kind of suck, I guess. But I level JAYCE first. I get a swing for 7 damage. Maybe get some stuff removed by, like, Get Excited and all. Yeah. So, Mystic Shot and Mystic Shot. Okay, cool. So, I get to remove 2 spells that could have gone to face, take out his unit, and hit for 3 damage. I think this is still worth it for me, because these are only 1 mana units. I guess it's 0 mana units, depending on how you want to look at it. We're even on Nexus health, though, but my board is better right now, and it's going to get a lot more better. Is that, you know, I'm having trouble with my speech today. English do good words. Pass. I'm going to do Financier and create another 6 mana card. Progress Day. Unironically is the play. Excuse me for burping, but it is absolutely Progress Day here. Ooh, buddy. Ooh, you hate to crush his dreams, don't you? Well, anyway, we do this just so that it doesn't die to Get Excited or some fumes. And make sure that I get the block off, because we are playing Demacia. These are things you have to watch out for. My opponent is not considering the possibility. 3 mana Ravenous Flock. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense for this deck. I was trying to think of, like, why on earth is this running Ravenous Flock? It's so strange, but no, that makes sense. Wow. I think it's Mage Seeker Insider. Sorry to say. I could have swung for 2 damage, but that's not worth passing my attack token, especially when my opponent has this much mana to play with. I'm more than okay with that. I might be running into, like, more blocks and stuff, but I think swing for 8... Wow! Wow! He gets 8 damage to face? Bro. Oh, no, homie. That's... okay. Oh, wow, really? It hit the only unit. I'm gonna go Poggers Day. Just to get that mana refill and the draw. Discounting LUX is massive. I can't understate just, like, how good that is, because that's a permanent 1-cost reduction. I'm getting pretty good value, though. My opponent still has a lot more cards to play. I have nothing. Oh, maybe they won't know that. Ooh, Tri-Beam. Oh, please be something bad? That's actually really good. That's actually... They should buff this, though. They should buff this and make it so... yeah, there you go. And make it so that they pull my 3/3 in, so I have a worse block. You know? I don't fully agree with this line. I mean, it's fine that they're going for this, but if you pull one of my units out of it, you hit for 8 damage, and then I'm subject to burn, right? Like, am I wrong in thinking that that's the better play? Perhaps I'm wrong. It's very likely I'm wrong. I'm not very good at this game. Here's Luxy. Pass. Assembly line. You thought you removed my board? You fool. Yay! We did it! We beat Tri-Beam! Let's go! Man, I'm doing really well today, apparently. After, maybe if I'm actually thinking through my plays and talking them out to an audience, I can get wins in Diamond. Who knew? I'm getting cocky, though. Anyway, on to game number 3. Plunder. Alright, game number 3 against Plunder. This This is one scenario in which I might keep Pharaoh's Financier, and I think I will, because I need to be able to block their units and try and deny them as much plunder procs as possible. Fortunately, we're kind of winning, because we got attack token first, meaning that even if they develop Crackshot Corsair here, they won't be able to... Ooh, that's a Jagged Butcher, huh? Yeah. Unfortunate. Jagged Butcher, though, hitting the board, and it'll be a 4 damage swing for 1 mana over that course of turns, and kind of an unfortunate series of circumstances, as it were. I'm going to hit the pass button one more time, though, as I'm not under threat of any attack next turn, and we're dropping the Vanguard Sergeant in place. Mostly because if I drop Forge Chief, I go down to Make It Rain to Parlay, and if I drop down Mage Seeker Persuader, it's also denying my possibility of a For Demacia later on. So I think this is the correct line. Kill this, get a better board state, right? Ah, shucks. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to do this now then. I was hoping to do single combat later, but I'm gonna single combat now because it'll kill the Powder Monkey and they only get 1 off of it. Yeah, but this is definitely a rough matchup for us, and that Make a Rain was a good read, I think, on my end. I'm very happy with myself. Still taking a lot of damage because we're definitely more of a ramp-ish kind of deck, and I need some 6 mana cost cards. Wow, Remembrance, I guess. Remembrance kind of sucks though. If this thing dies next turn, we're in trouble. I don't want to play this because of Parlay. This is a bad match for me, but that's okay. We'll bounce back for another one. I'm gonna do Remembrance now, just so that in case this thing, you know, trades or gets hit or something. Whoa, Great Horde Companion's really good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can dig a Great Horde Companion. Ouch. My face. Make Seeker Persuader to kill Monkey, but first we hit with Great Horn Companion because it's Scout. Go in for 5 damage, maybe. Yerp. And now we get in for 7? No, we get in for 5 more. Because the 2/2 blocks here. I'm getting a lot of value off of this Great Horn Companion. I'm surprised about this block. I guess if you're trying to mitigate damages against the deck that I am, which is a bit of a... Funny enough, this is a bit of a mid-range burn deck in its own way, and it can burn people out. Hello, Sedge. Yeah, Sejuani's not great for us. Pulls here, 3 freezes the whole board. I want to drop... If I do For Demacia, I mitigate the damage. I think For Demacia is unironically the best play I have right now. Because when this gets pulled in, it doesn't die, or it doesn't get hit by overwhelm damage from Sejuani. So my board doesn't get frozen, I don't take unnecessary damage, and I level up Jason Hand. Because Jason Hand now drops, I can put Challenger on him, or Quick Attack, pull Sejuani, hope that they don't have any face pings with it. But first, I'm going to do Mage Seeker Persuader, just to keep getting my board wider so that they have less of a chance of hitting Make It Rain. Or Sheath, right? Pass? Okay. We take this pass, because this is 10 mana that they're burning by passing. That's, like, look at all that mana that they burnt. I burnt 1 mana, have a really nice and wide board now, and they have to, they burned all of that mana that they were going to spend. Now, I think JAYCE is the play because of back-to-back. Some people might think it's nuts. Some people might think that this card is kind of bad because it's 6 mana, you know, just for a buff that Sharpsight gives you, but like +1 on each side. It's just not great, right? Yeah, so this is something that my opponent is not at all expecting. This gives each of these +6/+6 because of JAYCE on board. Pew, pew, pew. And now I get 1 mana back, and I block and kill Sejuani. So they have to hit a Make It Rain or a warning shot, which totally fine, right? Because with this damage, I'm still not losing a whole lot of my board. I still have a lot of board left to work with here. And I have back-to-back for next turn. So we're doing okay. Like, we're managing. We're not surviving exactly. But like I said earlier, this is going to be a rather rough matchup to play against. Progress Day is so nice, dude. Unyielding Spirit's funny, but I think it's too slow. I think Progress Day might honestly be the play here. Not because it pulls anything this round, but if I live this round, I get to pull something more. Okay, Make It Rain kind of sucks. But we get to kill stuff now with a second back-to-back. Or I could Ace Gate now. I could Ace Gate. I think Ace Gate might be better. Because this gives me +4/+0 on everything, and then also keywords, so I might even get Lifesteal. Maybe? Pause Champ? Lifesteal. And Sejuani's effect only triggers once per turn. That's a very important thing to remember about this deck. Oh. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, trying to block here. I pull you. This. Pull, and I have Mystic Shot as well on top of this. Actually, you can't play your opponent's cards. Well, yeah, I'm aware of that. We'll attack anyway. I know this is fearsome, but it's just best to try and remove as much of their board as possible. I know that I'm also losing this unit to Dude, but again, not too bothered by it. Second Sejuani could suck, though. Parlay. Here's the funny thing. I get to shoot this now. And that only does 1 damage, so it doesn't even do damage to my face. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So that only does 1 damage. We have a wide board. We have our champion on board. Gangplank levels up. But there are very little things that I care about with Gangplank, I think. I think this is okay. I think this is fine. If there's no Sejuani on board, I'm okay. Or Chief is not the card that I need. Back-to-back's pretty good. That's really not good. This is a really tough turn. Because if I play this, I can't play Radiant Guardian, which I really want to play right now. I think it might be Vanguard Sergeant again. Just to, I don't know, kind of get everything up right now. JAYCE is definitely dead, but so is Gangplank. Show me that again. Just get our maximum value out of JAYCE here. Yeah, I guess. But I don't, lose as much health. Kind of sucks that they had second Sejuani in hand, but that's just how Plunder works. Plunder's has like an innate card buff where they just get all of their units in hand. It's a really cool buff. I also did not think about the Gangplank skill. I keep forgetting that it hits units and Nexus. I always think that it hits units, and if it kills a unit, it hits Nexus, which would be a nice change. It would make it a lot more interactive, but it would still make it strong, right? This ability strikes its units first. If it kills a unit, it hits Nexus for each unit it kills. Would be a nice change, but it's just not going to happen. Progress Day. We're looking for stuff. We're not finding anything. We find Mage Seeker Persuader so we can kill Gangplank, I guess, but it's not really doing much for us, Like, we pull this, we pull here. They still hit us with Make It Rain and we lose because they have the third one. Oh, they got Monster Harpoon? Yeah, I forgot about that card existing because no one runs it anymore. Sag. Yeah, that's a surrender for me. I can't get through that. I played that as well as I could, I think. I'll have to go back into the footage and see what else I messed up on there. But really, like, Plunder is just a rough matchup. Anything that can stall out a mid-range game plan, this deck loses to. So it's pretty bad into a lot of Ionia decks. And it's pretty bad into... No, I think that's about it. I think Ionia decks are really like the only ones that I really fear with this deck. Or anything that has a lot of removal. And I mean a lot of removal. I'm talking Sentinels level or Kindred Viego. Those are usually like your worst matchups. Anyway, on to game number 4. Scouts. Alright. Alright, Moisture Sack. What do you got? I'm going to keep a Shock Blast, just as unit removal. The rest we toss. Look for other units. Vanguard Sergeant's pretty good too. And we're defending on 3. Which means I might need to play Furthest Financier, funny enough. Just because this board on turns 2 and 3 can go so wide. And again, Mirai Warden's the worst thing that can happen to us right now? Or Blinding Assault? Okay. I was gonna say, there's no way you have more of those, right? Drawing all 3 of the Jagged Butchers? Monk a W. Oh boy. How do I play this? If I play Vanguard Sergeant, I get to block 3 damage and take 4. And then I still have Shock Blast available for next turn. If I Shock Blast now, I hit 2, take 3. Okay, so Shock Blast prevents the most damage. But it's also my best removal against Misfortune. So if Misfortune drops, I'm kind of screwed. I think this has to be the play, unfortunately. I need to get more Shock Blasts in this deck. I think this card's just too good to not have more than... to not have 3 copies of. Because I'm hitting for, Alright, I'm hitting it pretty infrequently. And it's, there's only 2 copies of it in this deck, which I might change later as well. Ironically enough, True Shot Barrage, a lot of unit removal. And this deck has no interaction. Like, that's something very, very important to keep in mind. Something very important to keep in mind is that unit removal is kind of king in this deck. Or, sorry. It's king in this deck, but in the Scouts deck, there's not any interaction that I know of. There's no... Yep. Well, we lose to Ranger's Resolve, huh? Shoot. We absolutely lose to Ranger's Resolve, which really sucks. So I can't True Shot Barrage because of that dumb card being only 1 mana. If I play Lux, what happens? I get to block once, but then I don't fully block and I go down to 2 HP. I'm also vulnerable to Sharp Sight. But if I play Vanguard Sergeant, I can block twice. If I play Furthest Financier, I get better card advantage and I can play Vanguard. I think this is best. Then Assembly Line's my best one here because I need to match their board width now. Maybe Shock Blast, but again, with stinking Ranger's Resolve is such a good card. It's kind of ridiculous. They have enough mana right now to buff their units twice, which is just insane to me. Insane. I'll value block this. Like, block. What? Oh, right, because they... Right. I forget it recalls. Ugh. Pass. I have 2 mana, so they're worried about Sharp Sight right now, which I am running in this deck, but I don't have in hand. But they're going to go for it anyway. I will block here, and I will block here. Like, absolutely blocking Misfortune, even through a Sharp Sight. Right? Wait, am I wrong on this read? Nope, I'm not. That's cool. But going down to 7 HP is Kinda scary against Rally. Especially because they can just have ways to deal with it now. I do have True Shot Barrage, but like... Ugh. Yeah, I definitely should have gone with Shock Blast, but I think Lux might be... Because I have Lux into back-to-back next turn. So this is more of an investment play. Problem being, they're going to go wide enough for me to not be able to do anything. And I might just straight up lose to... Okay, no Rally. That's good. That's really good. I could single combat right now and kill the bird. But I'm still dead. Still dead on open. So if I single combat here, I take 2, 4, 7, 11 damage. Unless they scout attack and try to do something, and then I have time to develop and play my True Shot Barrage. I think that's really my only play then. Is hoping that they scout attack, like they make the mistake of not full swinging here. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, they make the mistake of not full swinging here. I get to skip block, right? I'm down to 2 HP though. And then I can True Shot Barrage to 1. I lose to Range Resolve, but I can't think about cards that I can't win against. I just think it's dumb that it's a 1-mana card. But that's just my opinion, you know? It's just my opinion. A thing that buffs all of your stuff by a permanent 1 health for 1 round. It makes it impossible to play it. Just not a great design card. I have to shoot it now. I can't afford not to, unfortunately. Because they open attack, I have to single combat. This is really, really close to losing. I lose anyway. Yeah. Yeah. I think the misplay was not taking Shock Blast with that. Okay, yeah, the board's too wide now. I can't play into that. The mistake was definitely not taking Shock Blast off of that Pharaoh's Financier. Like, I need more removal in this deck in order to play against Scouts effectively. And I need Ranger's Resolve to not be 1 mana. That's it. That's all I need. Anyway, I'm going to make some minor adjustments. I'll make sure that I talk about what they are. But I'm definitely taking out 1 copy of Pharaoh's and adding a Shock Blast, and then yeah, I think that's correct. So yeah, just dropping 1 Pharaoh's for 1 Shock Blast. All right, on the next match. Match number 3 is Anivia. Oof. Again, another possibly tough matchup. We need to race this, and so I just need to find all of my early stuff and start swinging hard. Like, I need my assembly lines, I need my, yeah, my champions are pretty good, because these are kind of my main win conditions outside of burn and mid-range board swarming. Shock Blast is okay. It's not the greatest, but it's there as a card. Something that's interesting to note with a lot of decks as well nowadays is that most of them don't actually have 1 mana cards that they play. You'll usually not see 1 mana plays. And so that's why cards like Inventive Chemist are so good, right? I don't want to give him value for Kylie Tavern Keep. I could just play Jace, but he just gets Vengeance, right? I can't do anything with this hand. It's really awkward. This is a well, nice of you to show up, ma'am. Nice of you to show up. Okay. I play Forge Chief. Odds that they play Vile Feast? High. There it is. Now, the reason why I was waiting for that is because I want to have a target for Shock Blast. Yes! It's a war of attrition, you animal. No, Glimpse Beyond. Whatever. The spell still goes through because it hits Nexus. Whack. Now it's their turn. It's 1 point towards Jace's level up. Yeah, I kind of figured. But we have another Shock Blast for next turn. So we just level Jace in hand, and we're vibing. This is the Anivia turn, so I'm just gonna boop do this again. Could see a Glimpse Beyond again, because they've drawn a lot of cards already. Ooh, no Glimpse Beyond, nothing. No responses. I'm level Jace. Unfortunately, I didn't have LUX on board to see Jace level, but I don't see myself winning this one. No forges either. It was a really bad hand. Just an astronomically bad hand.
I bring the storm.
Okay.
A world in perfect stillness.
No way that I'm blocking that. Vengeance kind of collapses here too. But if I do get Acceleration Gate out, what happens? Not much, right? Anyway, here's Force Chief. Do you have another Vile Feast? Not surprise me if you do. Absolutely would not surprise me. Wow, yeah, look at that. They've drawn a ton of cards and haven't been able to play anything yet? Yep, cool. Now I have Radiant Guardian. That's a Vengeance. Awesome. This not being targeted at our champions is exactly what I'm looking for. Because now I can go... I could go Jace and back-to-back. But I don't think that's quite worth it. I think it's Jace into Mystic Shot this turn. So good. Unless they have second Vengeance, which they could, but I have another Jace in hand. Oh, who cares? Snap that Vengeance like you want to. Do it. You don't have mana for Ruination either, so I don't have to worry. Shock Blast. Because this kills the egg, or Anivia, and then I can kill the egg immediately after. Now the problem is Rekindler. Whack. Create a Jace in hand. Now the funny thing is that because this plays twice, I now create 2 Jaces in deck. So that's like a cool little interaction in case you guys didn't know about it. Anyway, Rekindler drops. For sure here. Or kindly. That's fine too. But I do this. Flash Freeze might be a thing as well, so they keep the egg alive. Yep. But I have Mystic Shot for it next turn, so this is okay. Like I'm not being denied my wins. I'm just being inconvenienced. Like that's really all that's happening right now. It's just very annoying what's happening here. Possible that they have Catalyst. Catalyst of Aeons does throw us out here. Because Catalyst, you know, gives them the mana that they need to become enlightened. I don't know what that was for. Third Vile Feast. Mage Seeker Persuader. I'm okay with trading Persuader for kindly here. I need to shoot this egg. Especially if Rekindler comes down. Rekindler is going to be a problem. Pass. I decide to play Lux.
Let the light guide you.
I don't know what they're landing on here. Ruination, maybe? be a thing. That would suck, because I don't have any units left in hand. I did just play into Ruination, didn't I? Okay. Vengeance, totally fine. I can Mystic Shot this now. Whack. Pass. Now I let them hit face. Why, you may ask? Because I want this. I want my board alive. My main win con for this deck is making sure that board width works. ACL Gate. Harsh Winds sucks, but what are you going to do? Or Second Anivia. Or Rekindler. Or, you know, any of the above. Like, Rekindler into Entry kind of makes us lose, but it's not a thing I can really consider an option right now. Now they really can't develop, because this has Scout with Challenger. But Frostbites do kind of suck. I'm going to try and clear out the little units first and just kind of test the waters. Do you have a freeze? Is a question. Yes, you do. Okay. So now JAYCE only takes 1 damage. Catalyst, okay. Another JAYCE in hand. Question number 2 to the jury. Do you have a 3rd freeze? Okay. Now this is a 9-4 permanently. Even though he only gets the Fury this round, that is a permanent buff that he gets. I'm going to sharp sight my JAYCE here because I don't want him going down to 1 HP and dying to Anivia. Or 2 HP. Dying to Anivia on attack. However, what we do have is back-to-back. We also have Shock Blast. We have a lot of ways to deal with things here. This Avalanche does not kill JAYCE either, if they're playing Avalanche, which they might be. It's very likely. I'm absolutely not blocking this. No, thank you. I've taken your offer into consideration and told you to piss off, because there's not enough attack power in this deck to Atro me to death that I know of. Okay. If that's the case, would it be best for me to back-to-back? No, it's best for me to play 4 Demacia, because back-to-back is an instant use, and I can use it on attack next turn, and then force them to have a response immediately. By using this as a slow spell, and playing it defensively and healing my units up, I'm then able to not make it so that they can react to it next turn. I think this is the best play, because my board is now too wide for them. And I kind of want to open swing, but I'm only hitting for 13. Wait, no. Wait, I have lethal. Hold on. I have lethal. I have lethal. Oh my gosh, I have lethal. I just need this to work. I need this to hit. If they Harsh Winds, it's the best thing ever for me. They don't have 3rd freeze. They don't have it. I refuse to believe that they have it. Because if I developed, I'd develop into Ruination. Right? This has to be the play. This 110% has to be the play. Oh my god. Oh my lord, I'm out of bust. Okay. Okay. I play Financier. We take Shock Blast, because it's a damn good card. End round? Okay. Shock Blast. Are you dead? Are you dead? He's not dead. He's 2 HP. Okay. This is fine. This is very, very close. Maybe I should have fired JAYCE's Shock Blast there in case the hit like that went through. but I think this is okay. And not developing Jace there just in case they open Ruination this turn. Like there's just so much that I lose to on their side by having Jace. They can't be Vile Feast because they've already played 3. And there's no way that they have to create any of them. Man, they are considering this spell pretty heavy. Okay, end round. It could have been a Ruination as well. It's entirely possible. I open attack. Do you have anything to say about this? Oh. Yes! Maybe I win. Maybe. Maybe? Let's go! Woo! Yeah, baby! Oh, that's what we were looking for. Ah. That was so well played because I knew, okay. I'm very happy with the way that I played that. I'm super duper happy with how I played that. Oh man, I freaking big brain. So to explain my thought process there, because I know that I was just saying this could be Ruination. That's my favorite Withering Whale. Actually, I didn't even think of a second Withering Whale. But my thought process there was he was hovering a spell because I had technically lethal on board with a 2 attack unit because they were only 2 HP on Nexus. And so I knew that the spell that they had was going to kill that. But they've already played 2 Vengeance because they used one to kill Lux, used one to kill the Brightsteel Protector, or Radiant Guardian. And they run Ruination. And they had mana for Ruination, but then they were thinking, you know, is like Ruination really worth it? Maybe he just maybe he develops and then I play Ruination, so that's why I didn't develop into Ruination. And then having that back-to-back in hand, even though I've seen people say it's a meme card, in this deck, it just freaking works. It does some freaking work. Oh, I'm so happy with how I played that. That's the kind of Legends of Runeterra that I live for. That's why I love this game so much. And a little bit of a shout out for myself. Over on my main channel, Sojourner Kai, I am currently working on a video that talks about a kind of introductory look at Legends of Runeterra from a League of Legends player's perspective, because that's where I started, that's where I came from, and that's where a lot of my friends are coming from. And so I'm explaining to them, hey, here's what Legends of Runeterra does, and here's some parallels that you can draw from League of Legends that this game does and stuff. And so that video essay, I'm hoping will go up, let's see, today's Monday. It'll probably go up on Saturday is my guess. I'm pretty much done with editing it now. I just need to record some background footage for it and get all that done. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks once again for coming out to watch me play some Legends of Runeterra ranked. I am so happy with that last. I'm still living the euphoria of that last high. Oh man, it feels so good. I'm not gonna get Masters this season. There's just not enough time left in the season now. But I'm gonna try for it next season. I might take JAYCE LUX to take me all the way up to the top. At any rate, thank you guys so very much for watching. Hope y'all are doing well on this Valentine's Day. Safe travels, and goodbye.